In this video, I want to talk about having bipolar disorder and feeling different in school. I remember when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in my teenage years, it was a very, very dark, hard, and difficult time. Between the ages of 15 and 17, I was hospitalized over 5 times for a month each at psychiatric hospitals. I'll never forget the trauma and the pain and what it felt like to be locked in a psychiatric unit and to be around so many other people that were really facing horrible psychosis. There were people that were violent and angry and aggressive. There were some that were really hearing things and seeing things, and it was very traumatic to go through that. And I remember when I would get able to leave the hospital, I would try to go back into school. And as a kid, you always feel a little awkward. You know, it's very different when you're going through life and trying to grow up and become an adult and you have a mental illness. You can feel like, you know, you are so odd and different than all the other kids. And I remember being worried what the children would think if they knew I was in a mental hospital. Would they call me crazy? Would they put me down? Would they make fun of me? Before I got sick, kids would pick on me for lots of reasons. They would call me gay, or they would call me weird, or they would call me strange, and even that was hard to deal with. When I was diagnosed with a mental illness, it became even tougher because now I was very sensitive, I was very emotional, and I had this pain of being in a hospital, and it felt so difficult for me to deal with. What I want to tell you is my goal. I ended up becoming stable. I rebuilt my life. I went back and finished high school and college, and I ended up getting married, having children. I'm a social worker and life coach. I write books. But I wanted to be able to inspire young people to know that if they live with a mental illness, they can be okay. I've been able to share my lessons in life and be open about bipolar because I think we do not have to be embarrassed or ashamed to live with this issue. I remember when I was young, I wanted someone I could look up to, someone that had achieved success, who had done well with bipolar disorder. And unfortunately, there were only a few role models. Many of those that shared about their bipolar were in their 50s or 60s. People like Patty Duke or Kay Redfield Jamison, who did a great job sharing their story, but not many younger people. So I began a crusade a long time ago to educate about bipolar disorder. I've done national tour with Dr. Drew Pinsky, teaching college students. I've appeared on many media outlets. I've written books. I've done so much to help those with bipolar know it's not that big of a deal and you can get through the situation. I even connected with Demi Lovato, and she praised the book that I wrote, and I'm so glad that she's being able to be honest about what she faces, because when people see someone like Demi that they can relate to, who's their own age, who's lived a very successful life, they can see that they can accomplish the same. I want to tell you, whatever you are going through, do not feel like you cannot get through it. If you will find a psychiatrist to help you, get on the right medicine, get a therapist, go to support groups, you can rebuild your life. All those things together and slow and steady progress allowed me to get back on track, and I learned to not care what other kids thought. I realized that my own life was mine. I needed to get healthy, I needed to get stable, and I also figured out why people are sometimes nasty and bully others. It's often because they're insecure, because they feel like putting me down or putting others down makes them stronger and better. And you have to think, when someone would call you crazy or call you weird or call you a name after you faced a medical condition that says something more about them than you, you have to learn to grow thick skin and say, you know what, I don't care what people think. This is my life. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get healthier. And one day you'll be like me. You'll look back and you'll see all the success you've achieved. I want to tell you, we help those with bipolar disorder. We do coaching and mentoring. We have a program where we do coaching. We also have great books, and I encourage you, no matter how old you are, even if you don't love to read, you should check out the books that I've written. There's a lot of knowledge and information. I make them simple to read and easy. They're not that long, so you can learn all the tools and tips to understand how to live with bipolar disorder in a healthy way. You can go to my website. I have a new book coming out. My little brother just died of a heroin overdose at age 27. The book shares about mental illness and addiction and bipolar and depression, and it's a great book. I would love you to see it. I wrote it in honor of my brother because I wanted people to hear about his life and the good parts as well as the addiction that he lost his life to. You can find my website. It's called bipolaronline.com. That's bipolaronline.com. And please know, no matter how dark your situation's been, no matter what your mental health issues are, if you seek treatment and get help, you can rebuild your life. I believe in you. I think one day, if you take the right steps, you can get your life back on track. There is hope. There are people that are going out there, doing the right thing, and getting their lives back. I hope you will do that and just try for slow and steady progress. It took me many years to slowly and steadily rebuild my life, but 20 years later, my life is amazing. I have children. I'm married to a beautiful woman. I have a successful career educating about mental health. I run a big company. All of this is because I did the work when I was young to work on my life. So thanks for watching this video, and please know whatever you're going through, there is hope. So thanks for checking it out, and take a look at bipolaronline.com. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day.